Welcome students. Today we are going to study Science and Technology Part 2, Chapter number 6, Classification of Plants. First is the introduction. So you have already studied the kingdom Monera, Protista and fungi of the 5 kingdom classification system proposed by Robert Whittaker in 1959 for the study of living organisms. So let's do one quick revision of this. So the classification of living organisms, it classifies into two: prokaryotic, eukaryotic. So what are the prokaryotes? Prokaryotes are the organisms which do not have nucleus or any other membrane-bound organelles inside them. For example, bacteria. There are lots of different bacteria. We all know. Okay. For example, cyanobacteria or streptococcus bacteria and all. Now, next is eukaryotes. So, eukaryotes are organisms whose cell contain nucleus within a membrane. Okay, and it may vary from single celled to complex multicell. Examples are plants, animals, fungi, etc. Now, eukaryotes also there are of two kinds: unicellular, multicellular. Unicellular, which obviously contains single cell, and multicellular have multiple cells. In unicellular, there is only one Protista. Protista, example of Protista is Paramecium, which you have already studied in previous classes. Now multicellular have two kinds. One is with cell wall and another is without cell wall. With cell wall, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Without cell wall, there is only one, which is kingdom Animalia. Now autotrophs. So autotrophs are organisms, we can say, that is able to feed itself. Okay, for example, plants. And heterotrophs are organisms which derives its nutritional requirements from other complex organisms. So in this classification, now we are going to study autotrophs, kingdom Plantae. Okay, so this group of autotrophic living organism having eukaryotic cells with cell wall is the group of plants. Plants have become autotrophs as they can perform photosynthesis with the help of chlorophyll. Living organisms of kingdom Plantae are the main source of food for all other living organisms. We all know these facts very well. Okay, so there is one we can say one pigment which is chlorophyll. Due to this, plants can synthesize their own food. Okay, now the classification part. So basic classification, there are lots of different kind, we can say, by which we can classify the plants. Okay, so depending upon whether they are flowering or non-flowering, there are different classification, and there are lots of more classification on different characteristic spaces. Okay. So the basics for classification: the presence or absence of organs is the first criterion for classification of plants. The presence or absence of separate conducting tissues for conduction of water in food is the next consideration for the classification. So now, do the plants bear seeds? If they do, then whether the seeds are enclosed in a fruit or not. Is it also important criteria for the classification? Finally, plants are grouped depending upon the number of cotyledons in the seeds. At the higher level of plant classification, different characteristics are considered for the classification. For example, depending upon the absence or presence of flower, fruits, and seeds, plants are classified as cryptogams and phanerogams. Depending upon whether seeds are enclosed within a fruit or not, phanerogams are classified as gymnosperms and angiosperms. Angiosperms are further classified as monocots or dicots depending upon the number of cotyledons in a seeds. Now proceed further. This chart of classification of kingdom Plantae classify as two: cryptogams and phanerogams. Cryptogams, which do not produce flowers, and phanerogams, which can produce flowers. Okay. Now cryptogams are classified into three: Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. Thallophyta are plants which grow mainly in water, for example Spirogyra. Bryophytas are called the amphibians of the plant kingdom because they grow in moist soil but need water for reproduction, for example moss. And pteridophytes, you may have seen ferns among the ornamental plants in a garden. Take a leaf of fully grown fern and observe it carefully. These ferns are called pteridophytes. Okay. Now next is phanerogams, which produce flowers. Phanerogams which produce flowers in this gymnosperm and angiosperm. Gymnosperm which can't produce seed. Gymnosperm which can't produce fruits, and angiosperm which can produce seeds. Okay, examples of gymnosperms are cycas, Christmas tree. Okay, now angiosperms are also classified into two: dicots and monocots. Monocots which are single cotyledon, dicots which have two cotyledons. Example of monocots are banana tree, onion, bamboo tree. Dicots example banyan, we can see banyan tree. Okay, now we will study it in a deep. First is Thallophyta. Thallophyta are plants grow mainly in water. This group of plants which do not have specific parts like roots, stems, leaves, flower, but are autotrophic due to presence of chlorophyll. Okay. For example, algae. Algae show diversity. They may be unicellular, multicellular, and microscopic or large. Examples of algae: Spirogyra, Ulva, Chara, which you can see in the pictures. These are Thallophyta. Okay. Some of these are found in fresh water, while some are found in a saline water. Okay. These plants usually have a soft and fiber-like body. Various type of fungi like yeast, molds which do not have chlorophyll are also included in this group. Okay. Now the next one is Bryophyta. So as I told you earlier, this group of plant is called amphibians of plant kingdom because they grow in moist soil but need water for reproduction. Okay, you may have seen a lush of green soft carpet and on a old wall bricks and rocks in a rainy season. These are not only but bryophytes. Okay, these plants are thalloid, multicellular, and autotroph. They produce by spore formation. The structure of plant body of bryophytes is flat, ribbon-like long, without true roots, stems and leaves. Instead, they have stem-like or leaf-like parts and root-like rhizomes. They do not have specific tissue for conduction of food and water. Okay, examples are moss, just Phanerogamia, and Anthoceros, etc., which you can see in the picture. Okay, now next one is pteridophytes. The main example of pteridophytes is fern. Ferns from the group have well developed roots, stems, leaves, separate tissue for conduction and food and water. Okay, in biophytes and thallophytes there are no any stem, roots, proper system for conduction of food, but in pteridophytes it is there. Okay, but they do not bear flower and fruits. They reproduce with the help of spores formed along with the back of posterior surface of their leaves. Examples are ferns, pteris, edentatum, etc. These plants reproduce asexually by spore formation and sexually by zygote formation. Earlier, the bryophytes and thallophytes reproduce only asexually by spore formation, but these pteridophytes can reproduce sexually as well as asexually. Okay. Now, other one, which is phanerogams. Plants which have special structure for reproduction and produce seeds are called phanerogams. In these plants, after the process of reproduction, seeds are formed which contain the embryo and stored food. During germination of seed, the stored food is used for the initial growth of the embryo. Okay, depending upon whether seeds are enclosed in a fruit or not, phanerogams are classified into two: angiosperms and gymnosperms. Okay, that means gymnosperms which do not enclosed in a cell wall, and which not cell wall, we can say, which do not have the seeds do not have coating, they can't produce fruits. Okay, and angiosperm, they can produce fruits. Now, gymnosperms. All the garden plants like cycas, Christmas tree, hibiscus, lily, rose plants, these all are of gymnosperm type. Okay, they can produce flower, but they can't further produce fruits. Okay, why it is so? Because their stems are without branches, their leaves from a crown. These plants bear male and female flower on different sporophylls of the same plant. Seeds of this plant do not have natural covering, that is, these plants do not form fruits and are therefore called gymnosperm. Gymnos, that means naked, and sperm, that means seeds. Okay, naked seeds. For example, cycas, lily, rose plants. Okay. Next, the main type is angiosperm. All the mango trees, banana trees, all the trees which contain fruits are in angiosperm. Okay, angio means cover and sperm means seeds. Okay, angiosperm basically means cover seed. Gymnosperm, that means naked seed. Okay, this is the primary differentiation. Now, angiosperms are also of two types: monocots and dicots. Okay, if we take seeds of different plants, for example, we will take seeds of mango, turmins, peanut, okay, corns. Okay, now if we soak them for 8 and 10 hours, and after that we can see whether the seeds can divide into half or not. Okay, if the seeds of that plant can divide into half, then it is dicot. Okay, if it cannot, then it is monocot. For example, termine seeds we can't divide into half, है ना? So that means it is monocot. Whereas mango seeds we can divide it into half, peanut seeds we can divide into half. So these are dicots. Okay, so the basic difference is monocots we can't divide their seeds into half, and dicots we can divide their seeds into two half. Okay, other difference are the monocots have fibrous roots. Okay, and dicots have well developed primary roots. Okay, stems of monocots are hollow. For example, bamboo stems, they are hollow inside. Sometimes falls, for example banana stems, and disc like also, for example onion stems. Okay, whereas dicot stems are strong, hard. Okay, for example banyan tree, mango tree, their stems are very hard, no? Next is the leaf. Okay, so monocots leaves are parallel venations, whereas dicots are reticular venations. Flowers, dicots flowers with 4 or 5 parts of in their multiples, flowers with 3 parts or in multiples of 3. Okay, hope you all understand all this. We will do one quick revision again. What are the basic differentiations of this all different types of plant classification? First, thallophytes. Okay, they are not well developed plants. In this, algae are included. They don't have well developed stems, root, nothing. Okay, and they grow in water. Then another one is bryophyte, which is amphibians. Okay, they grow in moist soil, we can say. Okay, they also do not have any kind of well developed roots, stems, etc. Next is pteridophytes. Now thallophytes and bryophytes are asexually reproduction. They perform asexual reproduction, whereas pteridophytes, they perform sexual reproduction. Okay, now next is in phanerogams, gymnosperms and angiosperms. They are more well developed plants. Okay, they have well developed stems, roots and etc. But they have differentiation in seeds formation. So for gymnosperm, they are naked seeds. They have naked seeds, and whereas angiosperms have covered seed. Okay, so all the flowering plants, no, flowers, lily, rose, these all are gymnosperm, whereas the big trees and all the trees which contain fruits, they are of angiosperm. Okay, and angiosperm also have two types, monocots and dicots. Monocots, where seeds cannot divide it into half, and dicots, for example mango trees and etc., their seeds can divide it into half. Okay, examples of monocots are bamboo, banana, onion, and dicots are mango, banyan tree, etc. And other differentiations with other differentiation of dicots and monocots, seeds, roots, stem, flowers, etc. Okay, that's it. Thank you.